and welcome to the greatest ever pagan super show, Extravaganza. I'm Reverend Don Lewis, and with me is Reverend Mary Hawk, and our special guest, Elsa Pendragon. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
And Elsa is the author of a new book, Ritual and Theory and Practice, and many other fascinating things that we'll be talking about during this interview. And could you give us a brief rundown of who you are and what you do?
Who I am is a priestess of what's needed, right? Or what's asked. I officially started in about 2000 following this path. I'd been following the path for a very, very long time without knowing what I was doing. Fortunately, I grew up in Germany, and so I was exposed to Black Forest, and I was exposed to the witches of the Moors, and my library teacher or my librarian at the school, the elementary school that I went to, told me about Salem, Massachusetts, and the gatherings that they had there. And when I got old enough, I needed to go there because I was getting all the witchcraft books in the library that I could get to. Fast forward now to 2000, I joined a circle group and met community in Murfreesboro and gained my teacher, joined a coven, left that coven, got my first degree, second degree in Wicca, third degree in Wicca, left that coven, joined another coven, left that coven, came back to that coven, run that coven, left that coven, put that coven to sleep, and then started another coven. And that's what I have today. Is I'm the high priestess of Coven of the Sacred Trinity. My husband is Robert, and he is the priest of Coven of the Sacred Trinity. I am a mystic, spiritualist with a bunch of training. And I love to share what I've learned. And that's the biggest thing is sharing what I've learned, and for people to share what they've learned with me, because we're always learning, and the day you stop learning is the day it's time to be 6 foot under. So that's my opinion. I think that,
absolutely.
Thank you. The best reward as a teacher is when I get to hear a student say, I didn't think of it that way. And then the best reward is I get to say that ever so often of, oh, I didn't even think about that way. That's good. So, you scrape it off. The serial numbers are now mine. So I'm going to. And
I love the way that you describe yourself as a priestess of what needs to be done.
Yes.
And that way of looking at things is how you solve problems, how you get things done. Now, You have a new book, Ritual and Theory and Practice.
Yes.
And I would like you to talk about that and a little bit about how that attitude informs that book.
I have taught that class in my coven class for 7 years, I do believe. And it grew every year. It grew. And then I got to read Tish Owen's book about doing the puff. And I've been to so many other people's rituals. Part of my green days was with Serpentstone and going to their rituals. And I got trained, by Serpentstone family and Rhiannon and watched their rituals and everything. And I thought that's really interesting how people do rituals, different styles. And then I started teaching my students, and it was one of the things that Coven of the Sacred Trinity does, we're British tradition, is we do things from the heart. And so we just don't really have scripts. We don't really have a particular way to call a quarter in. We have foundations. Okay, here's the foundation for you to work with, and then add what you want as needed, right? That's the as needed part that always happens. So the book's attitude is, this is a foundation. Keep what works, get rid of what doesn't work. I don't tell anybody in the book what to call in, how to call in, or anything. I say, hey, this is the way we've done ritual, and here's a guide for you to do ritual, because it's really a field manual at the end of the day. I've got a friend who said in her review that she keeps it on her, because if she's out and about doing a ritual and she forgets a step, she can pull it out, because on one of the pages in the book, I actually have the field outline of, okay, here's your steps. This is what you do. And it's just, just one page of just not what to do, but it's an outline for ritual. It's like, here's some suggested things to do. And I've written the book as a guide opposed to being told what to do. And that has been my complaint as a new person, as a teacher reading books and everything, is that ceremonial magic has a place. Particular types of rituals have a place. They all have a place. I think all religions are sacred. When you're learning new stuff, sometimes you get lost in the stricture or restrictions that you're learning. This is the only way to do it. Well, no, it's the only way to do it in this group, right? Because I'm gonna age myself. I am a Gen X, and if you tell me what to do, I'm probably not going to do it. And if you ask me to do something, I'm gonna probably, if I was going to do it in the first place, and then you stop me to ask me to do the thing, I'm gonna be like, no, I can't do that, because there's the ADD in me too. So I don't want to approach people that way. Can you? Could you? Would you? The only time I really get into the aggressive do this is if I'm running the show. Now, if I'm running the show, I've got my outline of what I want it to look like and be like and act like. And then I really roll with it. But if I have an idea and you start going against it, my Leo comes out. And yeah, my little starts to go, rah, rah, rah. So yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yes. It sounds to me like the point of the book is comparable to that saying that you should teach people how to think rather than what to think. And it teaches that your goal is to teach them how you do this, why you do it, but not a script for doing it.
Oh yeah, I hate them. Plays need scripts, because William Shakespeare worked his buttocks off to create what he created. That is a good script to do. The biggest thing about scripting rituals and trying to stick to the paperwork is that, in my opinion, you don't let deity take control, because you've scripted it out. You said, deity, this is what we're doing. And that's the best time for deity to go, loophole, look, spin, spin, spin. Now you're going to do it this way. And if you're not prepared for that, then you derail from your script, and you're going, oh, what do I say? But if you open yourself up by saying, I have an outline, this is the way I want it to go, I'm going to try to keep it going that way. And then when deity comes down and says, oh no, this is what you need to say, you're open to say that, because somebody there needs to hear what you have to say. And stopping yourself by using a script and script only, you close that off. And that's the spiritual experience you miss out when you do that. And I'll end it with, in my opinion.
Yes.
Because sometimes it can be done. You do the chocolate ritual, and it's good to have it scripted, because there's things that have to be said and done for you to hit the humor points. So yeah, it can be done.
I have done the poo and piglet ritual.
Yes.
And that is so much fun. And sometimes when people are just starting out, they would like a script.
Yeah.
So they have an idea of what ought to be said.
Yes. So the only feedback I've gotten so far is that, for feedback, I guess is the best way to put it, is that I tell them or advise them how to do sacred space But the next rendition, I was asked to add, how do you keep from being distracted while trying to hold sacred space? And to me, that's exciting because I'm like, you don't. Yeah, you just roll with it. It's like the kids are going to run through, the animals are going to run through, the cat's going to knock the candle off the altar. You just go, thanks, goddess, and you keep going.
I
That's very
have
good
had
advice.
to grab a cat who seemed to be, well, the cat was weaving around the candles, and the cat seemed to be perfectly fine, but everyone else was upset. So I picked up the
Yeah,
cat.
I think you make a very good point, because if you do this for any length of time, everything imaginable is going to happen.
yes,
Um, and you have to be flexible enough to deal with that.
exactly.
If you're doing
I
public
have had
ritual, there may
lighters
be a
that
picnic
just
going on next door.
would not light.
Won't light. Yeah. Candles
Mhm.
that won't burn,
Yeah,
sage that won't smoke. It's like, come on. That's when you go, look, pretend it's lit, and then you move on.
yeah. Well, exactly. And things like realizing you called the wrong quarter at the wrong time, or
Yes.
some other silly thing,
Yes.
and understanding that, they know who they are.
Right. And realize,
It doesn't mean,
yeah, the realizing the fact that even though you called in, I'm gonna when one of my coven mates watches this show, she's gonna be like, really, you brought it up? So even if you mermaids in the east accidentally, she was like, I can't believe I called a mermaid in the east. They should have been in the west. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Mermaids are also known as sirens, and sirens give their messages through their voice. So did you call the wrong thing in the quarter? Because sometimes you feel like you called something wrong, but actually it was needed.
yeah.
And so you
Yeah.
open yourself up to be able to make that mistake. The best story I could ever talk about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, is that I was calling in West at one time, and I didn't know who I was going to call in for West. Like, I'll call in something or something. I don't know. And then in the distance was this very, very, very loud call. And I was like, no way. No way. And it got closer, and I was like, oh, really? No. Okay. Hell's Guardians of the Water, bowling well, please come to our circle, bring your emotions and clean out. And somebody had a very big emotional situation that they were trying to deal with, and
Yeah.
they needed something that size to handle it.
Hmm.
So because I was open to accept what animal spirit came, even though it was this massive well, because I know I said the name wrong, that I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. You showed up, you're coming in, let's go.
Absolutely.
I once called the watchtower of the nerds instead of the north.
Ooh.
I don't know why that word came out of my mouth. I could not explain it to you. I had every intentions of saying north, but what came out of my mouth was nerds.
And it worked.
My coven did not let me live it down for about 6 months.
No, no, no. I called in Boudica one time, probably won't ever call her again. Uh, it was for a Beltane ritual, and I was in my robe. My face was half blue and half white, running down the hallway. My gown grabs on the doorknob. So by the time I get to the circle, I'm half dressed now, almost out of my room. And I'm like, okay, we're still going. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's just, you just got to roll with it, and you got to have humor about it too. There's some seriousness that happens for ritual, and then there's just tomfoolery, and and sometimes it's needed, and then sometimes it's disrespectful, and you just put it in check, and you just keep going.
Hmm.
Let it
Mm-hmm.
bring you down, because the best thing I ever learned about ritual, I learned in the mundane world, and that was being a presenter. I can present anywhere. I can talk in front of anybody doing anything. And I'm not going to tell you the story, what happened to make me absolutely cool and calm doing it. But the thing is that I'm presenting something that the majority of the audience doesn't know what I'm talking about. So I'm the expert. And so while I'm sitting there, and if I flub, who knows I flub? Me. I'm the only one that knows. Maybe the person I've been practicing with, the bestie over there in the corner, and she goes, but you just ignore that too, because nobody else knows you've messed up. So when you're doing ritual, you take on the same concept of, I called in the nerves. Guess what? Did it on purpose. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear you say that. I usually say something very similar, that the worst thing you can do is stop your ritual because you realize you did something small wrong.
Yeah.
And call everyone's attention to it.
Exactly.
Say either A, didn't notice, or B, will have forgotten by the time you're 10 seconds farther on.
Exactly.
As long as you don't disrupt their energy to call their attention to it.
Exactly. You've already created sacred space. You've already set up the course, already done all this. And if you stop and say, I messed up, you basically pop the bubble and got it. You don't have to start all over again, but you feel like you need to start over again because you failed. No, you didn't fail. You got a bump in the road.
Yeah. And you keep right on driving.
Absolutely.
And my attitude has always been, if you feel that you have to do something a second time because you the way you did it the first time, well, then you just do that. And nobody will notice that you're doing it, really.
Yeah.
As long as they're having a good experience.
Exactly.
That's what they're having.
Exactly. And it's the experience part of it that is the most important thing, is did you walk away with an experience? We don't always, we don't always talk about this, but it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good normally happens, the bad sometimes happens, and then the ugly happens because you're sitting there, and as priestess, you're walking around the circle going, may you never thirst, may you never hunger, may you never thirst, may you never hunger. And I had somebody just grab me and just bear hug me, full on boohoo crying, And so what do? You're like, oh, do we stop circle for this poor thing that's breaking down? No, you go, hey, take the wine cup, keep going.
Yeah.
Because apparently she needs the high priestess or the embodiment of the goddess that's in her mind in the moment of what was happening.
Yes.
And that comes across in my book as well. I talk about that. That's
wonderful.
I take the you got to do out of the ritual theory and practice. It's the, what, this has worked for me. Why don't you try it? And if you don't, do more research. I've got books and books listed in here of resources for you to go and try. One of the books is A Beat to a Different Drum. Completely not even pagan. He's Christian. So, but the point is leading without power. So that's, people, I didn't really touch on this in the book. I don't think I did. But if you go out to lead ritual to get power over people, you're wrong. And then you'll
absolutely
somebody wrong. I don't want power over anybody. Do I want power? I would not be human if I didn't, right? But do I want power over people? No, absolutely not. I want power over my emotions, over my reactions, over my ability to say, you don't have control over me, right? You can't make me angry. You can't make me cry. You can't make me stop in the middle of ritual because you're trying to say something ugly and I can hear it. That happens in our society because people come with expectations. And then we blow their expectations out of the water, or we live the expectation of what they came for. Because I'm not from the movie The Craft. I'm not from the movie Practical Magic. I'm not from Hollywood. I wish I could light candles with my brush. Wow, that would be awesome. Or make things float with my mind. I could do it, but you know how much setup that takes to get all this? I'm usually like on the moment trying to get things done because you're doing so much. trying to get the ritual together, trying to get the people there. Herding cats is a true word. So,
yes.
now I'm rambling. Go ahead.
So,
No, not at
where
all.
would we purchase this book?
So, if you go to Amazon.com, and you got to look for Elsa Pendragon, because I am self-published through Amazon KDP, which is the Kindle production. So I don't have it on Kindle, but I do have it on book. It is probably the thinnest book you'll ever buy, but I took nonsense out of it. I took I took Hollywood out of it, and I made it practical, and that's what the cover.
Okay. Can you hold it up and show it to us?
Beautiful shade of purple. Yes.
Yeah. There's a good friend of mine who's also the vice president of CauldronFest, has a store in Alabama, Practical Magic. And she has books that she's also written. In her version, I didn't realize this. I don't know if I consciously realized this or not, but hers is the same tree or whatever the background is, but it's green. And when she saw my book, she's like, hey, we got the same background. I was like, oh, that's cool. I really didn't intentionally do that, but it's cool.
It is. So go to Amazon and search Elsa Pendragon. You will find the book.
Yes. It'll be the only one available under Elsa Pendragon. It'll be purple. Now,
Yes.
I have 2 more books I'm writing, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Ooh.
Yeah. One is my
circle. What are they?
Yeah. Okay. So my circle class book is a year-long course that I teach along with another coven member. We teach one course in Lebanon, we teach another course in Murfreesboro, just different days, same course on different days. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Lebanon, Tennessee. And it's witchcraft. And plain and simple, it's just witchcraft. It's not a religion. It's not bringing in like the Norse gods and everything. It's the nitty gritty of witchcraft. It's a 101, honestly, a 101, but it's not Wicca 101. It's not Celtic 101, nothing like that. It is witchcraft. And it takes you to the process of learning how to do sacred space. What are altar tools? How to cast a circle? How to call quarters? What are the correspondences? The Fool's Journey is one of the lessons for divination. We talk about all forms of, or most forms of divination, all the way down to candle magic, sigil making, and then spell casting is one of the last classes, because I had my class set up to where you learn all this stuff to set you up to be a good spellcaster. And the
Very cool.
Yeah. And the other one is body, soul, and spirit. It's talking about the difference between your body, your soul, and your spirit and what they are, which has become very challenging because I don't know if you know who Brashear is. He's made it very challenging out there because he's the one that Brashear is the alien. Daryl is the conduit for through. And so I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. But the soul and the spirit is really out there now with the conversations that mediumship is bringing up, alien is bringing up, and all kinds of things. So I'm writing my book at a time where there's probably the best time to write an opinion on the body, the soul, and the spirit, because for me, they're 3 absolute different things, and they have all 3 purposes. And so talk about the contract that you sign before you get your soul and then get your body. So that one's a deep book. I wet my whistle with the small, easy book, and then I'm like, oh, I get to, because self-publishing I thought was going to be challenging and hard, and it turned out to be formatting and easy. So I'm addicted now. Like with tattoos, I'm addicted. I want more. I want more.
Okay, now tell us about your other pet project. CauldronFest.
That's a beast project. That's not a pet project. That is near and dear to my heart. Actually, my back screen is the little bitty waterfall that's right beside our campground that is 24 cabins, 3 sets of 8 in each section. So what it is, and what it was built by another couple. Him and his husband established that within community, I think in 2005. And he ran it. And when you run something long enough that big, you get tired, you get burned out. And especially when you're as creative as the co-founder was with things that he's doing, because he's still doing vending events, and he's still doing vending items himself and running vending things. But back to CauldronFest, is that there was this community that I really wanted to help. And I got slapped to do service with this, because this was one of those, I showed up the first year and I helped in the kitchen. And then it became a situation where we did the kitchen. And then the next year it was like, can you just do the kitchen this year? And I'm like, sure, I'll be the kitchen witch, fine. And then the next year was, okay, if y'all need a president, I will be that until something better comes along. And then please, let's move on to the better that comes along. And so far I've been, happy to contribute what I have growing up in Serpent Stones, doing all these rituals, doing gatherings, and the work that I've done in the community. Now, that's just me. I'm going to say this really, really hard and strong. CauldronFest is not about me. CauldronFest is about community. And if we did not have the staff that we had working alongside me, CauldronFest would not happen. We have the site coordinator, we have security, we have registration, everything that a normal gathering has. But this is their heart too. You can see their appreciation, love of community when they do rituals, when they're running workshops, when they're doing things for CauldronFest. We all put our love into it. And I think that's what makes it a really, really good experience for folks when they come to CauldronFest. It's at Fall Creek Falls, Tennessee, and it's in April. It's April 15th to the 18th of 2027 is the next one. And we try to really, really, really have fun with our events, because this year is going to be cryptids. So all of our cabins are named after particular cryptids. We've already been warned about certain ones not to use or call at all, because you don't want them there. We've got that taken care of. Calvin is our cryptid professional, expert, guru, and he's advised us on what we should use and probably shouldn't use. So, and he is our leader in cryptids. He taught a class, and then he taught a class, and then it was like, just let's do the whole event around cryptids. Everybody loves cryptids. What's not really known about Fall Creek Falls is that there are 2 distinct cryptids that were found there, and Bigfoot was one of them.
Oh,
I'm not sure what
very cool.
Are we naming a cabin after Bigfoot?
Yes, we are. And we'll probably have a guest appearance by Bigfoot and other cryptids.
Yay.
So it was bring costumes, wear costumes. Absolutely. Gosh.
I have been to CauldronFest. It is a wonderful festival. Absolutely.
Now, if people wanted to learn more about CauldronFest,
yes,
or perhaps wanted to come to CauldronFest, where would you send them?
CauldronFest.org. That easy.
Wonderful.
.org. We have a CauldronFest events on Facebook. And there's a group, and there's a page. And then there is, like I said, the website. And go.
And the date?
The
date for the next one?
April 15th, 16th, and 17th of 2027.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yay.
So what else you got for me tonight? I've just talk. But I'm a Leo, so I can talk.
I think that's probably it.
Okay.
Well, we want to thank you for being here. It's been a fascinating interview.
Absolutely.
It has. Thank you so much.
Rev Don's Book of Stones, Metals, and Crystals. Everything you always wanted to know about the magical and spiritual properties of stones, metals, and crystals in one book. Get your copy today at Corellian Publishing. Rev Don's Book of Astrology. Everything you always wanted to know about the stars in one book. Get your copy today at CorellianPublishing.com.